You're looking at the Wrong Brothers radio show. It's been forever. We got my man OB in the house.
What's happening?
And Sid Adams in the house.
Yes, sir.
My name's Zach Bed. And man, it's been quite a while since we got a chance to get everybody together.
Oh, yeah.
It's been, man, you know what? We didn't even do a podcast during the Trump administration.
Yeah.
You know, the entire Trump administration.
Yeah. We did one or two.
No, we didn't.
One or two, I thought.
What we talking about?
One.
No, you and Goose did one.
At the barbershop.
And I think we did one too.
We did one at the barbershop, but it wasn't during the Trump administration, was it? Or was it still Obama?
I think it was Trump.
I can't believe we didn't talk about Trump.
We can't give him too much press.
We talked about interracial relationships. And,
Yeah, definitely talked about that. That's probably was a whole thing.
that was
That took up all the conversation.
interracial relationships, and you know, and now we're getting ready to come up on you know every February we know it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
And you know, and then the schools, we have to rely on the schools teaching the kids, right?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna have the parents? We had this conversation before, you know. Black people have had this conversation. Are we gonna rely on the schools, or are we gonna rely on us to teach our kids, and then do the parents even know Black history?
Right.
To get out there and teach it. So
Yeah.
I mean, now OB, you've been in the school district now for how long?
Whew. I did 6 years in the school district. I did 6 years in the after school program. So
Yeah.
that's
Constantly working with those kids.
Yeah.
So you've seen what goes on.
man, firsthand. So it's just a lot of I don't even call it school. It's more like warehousing children.
Yeah. Now, he ain't lying, man.
Warehousing children.
Yeah.
It's gotten to that point.
It's like babysitting for older kids. You know what I'm saying? That's too young for preschool.
It's like they tolerating.
They too old for preschool. You know
Tolerating.
That's how they act, man.
But no, you know, seriously though, man, it's a lot different from probably our experience in public schools and stuff like that. It's a lot different. But I would say the model of school is kind of still the same.
Yeah.
The teachers stand up and teach, and the kids sit there and listen. Like that's been the model since the 50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
But then do people learn that way? Do
Not everybody.
right. So
Not
so,
everybody.
so when we're thinking about the education system, I know I can only speak for myself.
Exactly.
I was, as far as being lectured, someone stand in front of me and give me information. I'm supposed to receive this information, retain this information, and in this setting. And then I'm supposed to be able to retrieve this information later on at this certain test time, and supposed to be able to function in this environment that way. And you're going to judge how intelligent I am based on that.
That criteria that
Right.
they got.
Then you have these other students like myself who are like, I'm not quite getting what these other 8 students over here are getting.
Yeah.
If you can show me how to do that in real life, those numbers,
Right.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
And not only will I get it as a creative person like you all are,
Yeah.
a creative person, if they get something and they like something, they'll probably play with it.
Yeah.
Do imaginary stuff with it. That's how inventions happen, right?
Right.
So you like me, the hands-on.
Hands on.
Yeah. I'm hands-on, man. Like you can tell me something and I take it in, but I need to see it. You know what I'm saying? Or I need to do it. So a lot of students, man, I feel like my kids, man, they want to see it get done. You know what I'm saying? They want to see it get done. They want to do it with their own hands, man. So, but some man, you got some people I've seen, man. They won't open a book up and they can pass the test.
Right.
So they're more listening than anything. It's just different.
Are they smarter?
It's not so much the smart. It's just how you learn. It's how you learn. Because like
What is smarter, actually?
Like the military, for instance, the military is gonna show you hands-on, but at the same time, they're also gonna do things to make you listen. Certain key words and different things.
Exactly.
Some people may take them words and I'm gone. If it's wartime or something. And some people may have to see this happening for them to understand. Okay, we're at war. So I mean, it's just different ways of learning, but no way is right. It's just how the child gets it.
The statement that you made about what's smart, like what's intelligence. That's kind of like it's a social thing. Like society dictates or it has different criteria on what's intelligence or what's smart, what's sane, and what's insanity. You understand what I'm saying? So, depending on who you ask and who controlling society, it kind of dictates who's intelligent and who not. You know.
All right, so exactly. In all seriousness, how do you know what students are going to make it and which ones aren't? How can you tell? Because you can't, to me.
No, you can't really tell. Because people change, people grow and change. I mean, a perfect example is, in our history, we talking about Black history. Malcolm X, he started with a strong foundation, strayed off, went to prison, reformed himself, He changed his whole reality. So at some point in time, people would say, "Oh, he ain't gonna be amount to nothing." The guy told him, "Be a carpenter or something. Do something with your hands. Don't worry about being no lawyer. You ain't intelligent enough for that." But he became one of our greatest speakers.
Amazing guy. We don't talk about him in school, though.
I think of his age, though.
Wonder why.
We don't talk about him in school. So that's a real subject here. You know what I mean? It's a lot of Black people we don't hear about. And what really bothers me, I'm sorry, we're going to this Black history thing. I just, always talking about
it's the time,
because it's just bugging me. I'm like, there have been a lot of Black people who've been influential, who've done great things since Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost insulting in a way for us to allow, I guess, this to continue to be taught unless we just say, hey, pull the plug on the whole thing. We'll handle it from here. I mean, I'm wondering, what do you guys think on that? Because that's...
Well, for one, you told me the other day, man, look, I think if we're going to do Black history, we need to do, especially where we're from. Like in Palo, Arkansas, Palo people need to know what happened here too, other than just the civil rights and all that. This history here for Black people is important, so they need to get the justice of that before we reaching all the way out to other stuff. To me,
I mean, to instill a sense of this. I mean, it's so many intersectionalities. But anyway, in order for a person to have some pride about yourself, you gotta have some self-knowledge. In who you are or your abilities, what you're capable of doing, you know what I'm saying, or what you come from, whether that's your family members or whether that's in your area. Like people can take pride in saying, "Oh, I'm from LA. LA is the home of this. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you don't really know positive things about where you're from, then it can lead to a sense of a lack of self-worth or self-value. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot that need to be uncovered about the history here.
I'm just saying, other words,
here in this area?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Other words, what I'm saying is you shouldn't have to look outside of your area to see other stuff. You can, and nothing wrong with it, because Black, that's all our history, but there's history within this area that's not getting taught.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that I'm becoming a different kind of person. I used to think that we could wind up some kind of way being able to work together as a people.
You talking about Black people? Black people.
To get an understanding as a people, to have a motivation as a people, unless we, on our own, just to purposely just go after something, right?
Okay.
Without being stuck in a situation where we feel like we had to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because I know how Black people have been. Whenever we feel like we have to do something, we do it.
Yeah.
We do it, and we do it in full force, very seriously. But when we have a choice, then a lot of times we don't really make that move. So here we are as Black people. I'm thinking I used to be ideological about Black people. Oh wow, we can. And then I started thinking, well, it's hard to get 5 people together to do something, much less agree. So is it? And I guess one of the topics I wanted to bring up is in the pursuit of trying to work together as a people, are we hurting ourselves by doing that? Or is it something else that maybe we need to look at?
I would say if you look into our history, our greatest strides as black people has been when we have worked together. That's, you know what I'm saying, from my example of seeing, you know, from the civil rights movement, from the Garvey movements, from the Nation of Islam, all these type of things were based around us coming together. It may have been reactionary to a certain degree. I think more so we have to have a mindset that we need to be proactive. We need to have some type of harmony within us that allows us to operate together, because this is what we should be doing. This is what all other people do. You know what I'm saying?
When was the last time you can say that we've seen a really good example of black people doing that? Because every time I think about it, I go all the way back to the 60s. I can't seem to think of any time before that. Any time after that.
I would say this, you know, the 60s would probably be the best example.
Yeah.
We still had, I would say, a more sense of community still, because we
Back
fresh
then.
on the we were kind of fresh on the heels of, you know, integration happening. So we had been used to working together by force to a certain degree. Like everything wasn't wide open to us. You understand what I'm saying? So we had to have our own shops, our own stores, our own. You know, we had to teach one another. We were kind of forced to do this, even though some of us made a decision that, well, they just built that school across the street.
Yeah,
we should be able to go over there.
Over there,
even though we don't own that school,
we should be able.
We should be able to go
because we want equal. What we thought was equal,
right?
And we thought was a piece of the pie.
Yes. I want to say it like this, and just say gangs for instance.
Okay.
It's not the ideal way of people getting together like we saying black people, but some way they got together to build whatever they try to build. You know what I'm saying? Like in Chicago, man, these gangs, they got businesses. You know, I don't know what they do on the side. We know they're doing something on the side, but I'm saying to me that's a showing of a unified front of how they handle business. They did get together, they did build a business, whether we like the actions of how they do things. That's one example. You know what I'm saying? It's just
they understand territory too, though.
Yeah.
See, to me, in order to have some power, you got to control some physical territory.
So to me, it's a good example.
That's lacking for us as a group.
Yeah.
We everywhere. We all over. We just kind of spread out, and we think individual power.
Yeah, it's stronger than
it. Don't translate to collective power.
Absolutely.
You know, we got billionaires in the black community, but it ain't collective power.
The wealthy people have a huge team of people that are helping them to get what they got.
Yes.
You know, and you may not know about those people, but they're there. You know,
oh yeah, they have the scene.
They know they're there. You know, and so that's how that works. You must work as a team in one way or another.
But that's what I'm saying for unity. But it's like, what model are you looking at? Like I said, the example, the gang model. You know what I'm saying? Are you looking at wealthy businessman model? You know what I'm saying? There's different models. Which one you going by? Like the gangs go by how the Italians did theirs. Yo, we know they ain't legit on a lot of stuff, but they legit on a whole lot of stuff too, though. And so I'm saying that's a model of that you can go by. It depends on how we want to use it, though.
I mean, now I'm going to play devil's advocate in many of these cases here, because I have to, because in this case you just have to look at ourselves in hindsight.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's what that's the word I've been thinking about ever since I was thinking about this podcast.
Yeah.
Like in hindsight, how do we see Black history? What our history of actually being in this country? You know, we've seen a lot of stuff. We've read a lot of stuff. You know, are we better off? Are we actually better off right now, or are we worse off than we were, let's say, in the '60s? Right now in 2023.
I'm gonna say on my end, I wasn't in the '60s, so I can't really.
But you have a general idea.
I have a general idea of what's been told to me, and I'm gonna say a lot of things that we do now they were doing in the '60s too, like you said, not getting together. this didn't just start yesterday.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been going on, man. We've been hustling. We've been doing stuff. This been going on. This ain't just started yesterday. So
We have our faults.
yeah, we've been having them.
And our faults are in my eyes, are the thing that keeps us
Yeah.
where we are financially. Now, here's another thing though. You know, this feels good to hear this in my own head, but I don't know how it's gonna come out because we're only 13% of the entire population of the United States, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yet we're the most talked about. We've made the most impact than any other race. A lot of us think that we're the smartest and the fastest and the this and the that and the other, and they go like, well, you guys are such this and that. This is how they are in other countries. Why aren't you all any further along economically? And my only answer to them is, black people don't have a love affair with money. We don't talk about money at the kitchen tables. We don't talk about wealth. We don't talk about liquid assets. We don't talk about investments.
Yeah.
We don't talk about building a team for this and that and the other. We don't have those conversations like the other ethnic groups that we were using as examples. You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, you know, are we really in better off shape right now with what we're able to do? Are we in the same situation or are we better off?
So I think that
Long question, I know.
as far as when it comes to economics, I just don't think we don't have a group philosophy when it comes to economics.
Yeah.
There's plenty of black people who I think are economically astute, you know how to make money, got businesses and all of these things.
Yeah.
I don't think we see ourselves as a collective group. Like you said, people on the outside say, how come y'all, they talking about the group, isn't on a higher level than we are.
Yeah.
I don't think we see ourselves as a group. We're not organized to utilize our resources, our wealth for power. You understand what I'm saying? So we use it to make us feel better about our condition. You understand what I'm saying? So if I can move out the hood.
That's real honesty, because that's been working. But that's been the message that we've been giving to our own people. Our own people don't see themselves that way.
Right.
Yeah. We're saying, hey, we need to get together. We need to, yeah. What's he talking about, man? I'm group. Talking about, dude.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going hindsight. When I look at Black history, are we better off? You know, where are we? You know, all right. So now we're able to go to the same schools with white people. We saw what happened.
But then you got to look at it too. You was in a position to think about it. Like when somebody whooping you.
That's a different position.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, well, we got to fight. Well, they whooping me too. Well, you come on fight with me. They whooping me too. Well, come on fight with me. I mean, that's a different position than the subconscious feeling that you're not getting whooped. You get what I'm saying? Like a physical whooping compared to a mental whooping is two different things. You don't. It's like we said, abusive relationship. You know, a woman don't know she in one until she starts seeing another relationship that's healthier than hers. And you're like, nah, that don't happen. No, that don't happen. I'm in a bad relationship, even man or woman. You know, so it's kind of like when you're getting stomped on, you're gonna fight. You ain't gonna keep getting stomped on. But when you feel like when you don't know that you are. You don't think you're getting stomped on, you're going to sit back and you're going to be taking your time, you're going to be comfortable, you know what I'm saying? But is that how they want us to be, this system? That's the question you got to ask yourself, like, if black people feel this way, why do they feel this way? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't one or two people that feel it. But I'm saying, it ain't one or two people feel this way.
Right, it's a whole bunch.
It ain't just Power Blow that feel this way. There's everywhere that feel this way.
Right.
Why does everybody feel this way?
Right.
That's the question.
Right.
No.
Absolutely.
I think one of them questions that people ask is like, what do we want though?
Yeah.
What do we use? But we keep saying we though.
Right.
We keep saying we.
Yeah.
You know.
So what do we want?
I don't know. I don't know what black people want. Do they want rims? Do they want butt naked girls running around on their car?
What would you want?
Throwing money.
If they came to you and they said,
I want a
What
stack
would
of
you
money that I can turn like $1, like a telephone.
money for you want?
I can hold it to my ear.
Gonna be on a yacht, man.
That's what I want right there.
I mean, it's that's a good question, man. What do we want? But it's also the question of why we in the position we in, man. Like we didn't just get there. Like it's been talked to us.
Gradual progression to me.
It's like you said, gradual progression, man.
It's to me. We was talking about the education system earlier, though. Like that's education and socialization helps to give us the consciousness that we have. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So even more so, how we're socialized. The media socializes a lot of us, and socialization is the forefront of education. It ain't just what you read in the school book at school. Your interactions with the people.
What was that thing you said is the forefront? What is it? What you say?
So socialization is at the forefront of education.
We're going to take a break on that one. We're going to take a break on that one, but we're going to come right back on that one. Check these cameras.